Okay, here's a short poem about the governmental hulkbot that is Eric Pickles. Eric Pickles onions, Eric Pickles eggs, Eric Pickles gherkins watching Northern councils beg, Eric Pickles peppers, Eric Pickles beetroot, Eric Pickles gherkins burning library books and strangling newts, Eric Pickles cabbages, Eric Pickles cucumbers, Eric Pickles gherkins as he made up numbers and kicks vulnerable women to the streets. No care for the public, just whether he can see his feet. Eric Pickles walnuts, Eric Pickles chilies, Eric Pickles gherkins as he waves about his chins, bathing in the tears of children who will never play the violin. Thank you. So over Christmas I set myself sort of a task to try and write every day, which totally failed in the last after 3 days or something. But it was based on sort of randomly generated titles, and this one came out from this generator that I was using called Topologically Reanalysed Confectionary, and this is how it goes. Asphyxia and anaphylaxis interrupted the proceedings. Pythagoras was rudely stopped in the middle of his PowerPoint as a prolific peanut parted its way down the trachea of Fermat, causing panic amongst the assembled calculators. Nothing this exciting had happened in mathematics since Archimedes had shouted "Eureka!" at Descartes. Good old René had taken it the wrong way and headbutted him. But back in the chaos of Aston Villa Football Club best conference room, Newton began to try and work it out with a pencil. It was to little avail, though, as the pencil got stuck too. Heimlich manoeuvre was screamed several times, but nobody knew how to administer it. Just the differential equations and solutions needed to make it work. That's mathematicians for you, though. Now, Pythagoras was growing anxious as Carol Vorderman rung for an ambulance. The time it would take Fermat to lose consciousness was algebraically proved and verified by him before he collapsed on the floor in a heap. Just another statistic on the growing severe arithmetic allergies casualty list. They gathered around, silently in awe of the harrowing simplicity of death. Its cold grip on humanity's greatest defences was sudden and cruel, but because of the law of large numbers, it was probably wholly predictable that it would have happened to one of them anyway. In search of answers, the culprit was found in a yellow bag under the chair occupied by the great man, and unfortunately, it turned out that that was to be Fermat's last M&M. One more. It's called the Prose Riots. 20 years ahead, it was realised that they had read reality. Every item, every detail could be found somewhere in the creativity of the past. And it didn't take long before the last ounces of sanity were squeezed from the unhappy, as existence was interrogated on evidence provided by himself. Religious websites crashed as children sought to comprehend this new dimension to their lives. Confused mammals beached on the sands of time. Authors were taken hostage or worshipped, and poets overdosed on the sudden fame, popularity and power they possessed. Artists were forgotten and their artwork ripped from frames to be replaced by pages of Dostoevsky and Pratchett. They took to the streets and looted literature, lamenting the loss of libraries. Confusion turned to anger, and anger became eloquent violence. The police became a mere inconvenience. The rioters read their way around their response. Instead of a conventional weaponry, pencils were sharpened, typewriters were thrown, and they fought with pens. After days of death, broken spines, torn pages and prison sentences, the wise seized the opportunity and wrote themselves into riches. The illiterate, meanwhile, carried on regardless. Cheers.